So we're getting the moon sideways, which right away I feel means some things have been exposed or revealed, like some secrets or some things that were hidden have come out into the light, but not everything. So there are some things that are still hidden, or you're in the dark about a few things. Okay? It's like half of the story has come out, so to speak. Let's see what we get. All right, so let's pull present energy. Yeah, look, some truths have come out, but some things have not. Seven of Swords is like usually either a strategy or some type of even deception has been revealed. That's why this is reversed. So something has come into the light, but I'm telling you right now, the full scoop hasn't come out yet. That's why this is coming out like this. And that's just clarifying it. Okay, what's this deception about? Queen of Wands under the deck. Let's see. What is this deception about? What has come into the light? Or something that was hidden is coming out. What is this about? A home? My readings are all the same, you guys, lately. You can't make this shit up. Page of Swords. I'll clarify this. What is the Page of Swords about here? Five of Pentacles. Why Page of Swords? Queen of Cups in the reverse. Distorted energy. And then the Queen of Wands is coming out. I saw her under the deck. There's somebody who's extremely emotionally manipulative in this situation. It's probably a woman because it is the Queen of Cups. Extremely emotionally manipulative, and it has to probably do with a home situation. So this could be like a person that you live with, a spouse, a partner, I don't know, probably a landlord. I think this is much more personal than that, but I don't know. It's possible. Has to do with a home, definitely. And do you see how the Page of Swords is kind of like watching? He's like, I always look at how the cards are oriented on the table, and he's like looking at the home, like carefully, sort of like surveying, being like watching, waiting. This is my card of watching and waiting. That's always what I think of. It's kind of like a spying card. You're watching, you're waiting, you're watching, you're waiting. I've been getting this over and over again, that there's some stuff, something going on for certain people out there around your living circumstances. And if you are in a relationship and or you're in a marriage, you're being extremely calculated about how to proceed and or how to exit the situation. So it's feeling like you have to be extremely deliberate with this, and it is because there's an element of abandonment or a loss financially, or being put out in the cold, literally, because these people are out in the snow. And sometimes when you see this card, it's like about being left out in the cold. So being afraid, like, I'm going to get kicked to the curb. I won't have a home. This person, it's interesting because look how we're getting two feminine energies, but one of them is distorted and one of them is not. And when I see the Queen of Cups in the reverse, it's different than the other queens. It's like Queen of Cups uses emotions to control people and to manipulate people when she's in the reverse. Upright, it's like super sensitive, empathic, compassionate, intuitive. In the reverse, it's all the shadow of that. It's like doing things intentionally that might be fake or performative to get what you want, or using things like guilt, fear, shame to control people. It's like knowing exactly someone's pain point, like someone that's afraid of abandonment or loss, and then using it against them to get their way. It's not a fun energy to deal with. Let's just pull one on the Queen of Cups separately and one on the Queen of Wands. What is this Queen of Cups about? Yeah, the Devil reversed. You are not meant to, if you're in a relationship with a person like that, or you are that person, this is not healthy, and you are not meant to be in a situation like this anymore. You are meant to free yourself from that manipulation, but because I think someone's got a major leverage, or let's just say they think they have major leverage because of either money or a home, they think they really have the pull here, that they can get their way no matter what, and that's not true. But whoever's on the other end of this, who's feeling like they're being manipulated, first of all, you have to understand you're co-creating that. You're giving that person permission to do it. I understand that whoever this is, you're probably watching, like I said, watching, waiting, watching, waiting. That's all I keep hearing, watching and waiting. Watching. What are you waiting for? let's ask, what are you waiting for? I understand that this is a huge attachment, an unhealthy attachment. Like I said, you could be financially dependent on this person. You could be tied up financially because it is for example, a marriage or a business partnership. I don't know who needs to hear this out there, or who's in a marriage like this where you do want to get out of it, for example, or a long-term partnership that you want out of, but you've been like financially dependent, or like I said, your assets are all tied up, or you live together and you want to move out, but there's like difficulties in just getting up and leaving because there will be a big loss. There's something, but I'm telling you right now, somebody knows damn well what they're doing, and it is a feminine energy, and this person is being extremely emotionally manipulative. So let's just call it a spade, you know? Now, what I was going to ask before this cutoff was, what is this person, what is someone waiting for? Well, I hear watching, waiting. What are you waiting for, whoever this is? And then I'll pull one on, well, the devil is what I got on the Queen of Cups. So that, again, that's an unhealthy attachment that someone's trying to free themselves from. Do you see how these people are chained together from the neck? Now, the Lover's card is a almost mirror image of this, except the people are free. They're naked too, but they have no chains. There's an angel above them, but in this one, it's the devil over them. So it's like there is this like shadow element of attachment that isn't healthy. So you're trying to get out of that, and that's good. But what are you waiting for? Or why are you watching and waiting this home situation? Why are you like monitoring this? What is the deal? Justice. Yeah, see, this is legal shit, and this came up before in one of my last readings recently. The same message keeps coming up. So obviously some people out there need to hear this. There's something legal that's holding things up, and or that you're waiting on. Or a contract. Are you waiting for a lease to expire? Like a lease term to be up? I just heard that. Like once the lease is about to renew, you make a move? Or is it like a purchase of a home? Or is it the sale of a home? Or some type of contract, you know? It could definitely be, that's why watching, waiting. What's one more there? Why? There's something that you need to do some introspection about, though, because this feels like it's coming from like, almost like ego, like the watching and waiting and wanting to almost like do something shitty, or to get revenge, or to like pull a fast one on this person. And I can understand if you've been in a relationship with a person like this, which I've been in like many relationships in my past, like even work related ones with people that are this manipulative emotionally, it's exhausting. You do kind of want to stab them in the back sometimes and be like, fuck you. But that's not what you're meant to do. I'm not really feeling that. I feel like there's something you're missing spiritually about this lesson. It's probably to let go without this like vendetta. I just heard vendetta. Vendetta is pretty serious. If you have a vendetta against somebody, like you really want to get them back and you want to hit them hard, I'm getting the image of like a cobra about to strike. You know how like cobra snakes like come and then they like raise their hood, and then it's like they strike unexpectedly, like a snake in the grass is like the image that I'm getting. Hold on, I'm getting more. I'm seeing like a sneak attack almost, like and I think the reason why some of this stuff keeps coming is because somebody's been plotting and scheming, and I'm not judging because I'm not in this situation. But what I can say is that there's a spiritual lesson that you haven't learned yet. The Hermit is looking at this. On the deck, it looks like this. Or sorry, on the table. And it's in the reverse. And it's like shining the light on this Justice card. Now, this is a spiritual card about going within and meditating and finding the answers within yourself and being on a spiritual journey, like a hermit's journey, going inward. But see how he's shining the lantern towards the Justice card? I think what's happening, and this is just how I'm going to put it, is that you want to have, like, you feel like you've been done wrong, or that someone's betrayed you probably, or is holding something over your head. And so you're trying to get out and get back at them, or whatever the case may be. But you're not trusting karma fully. Because remember, this is serious, you guys. Really hear me out on this. Any seed that you plant, you're going to get a result from. Now, even if you feel righteous in this vendetta, we're just going to say it, in this revenge that you're trying to take, because someone did you super dirty and super wrong, and is also lying to everyone around you, so this person probably looks like a saint, like a savior. Especially if it's a mother figure and somebody who really prides themselves on getting everybody's validation and thinks that they're fooling everybody with their fake behavior. And you know full well that this person is a snake, but you're just like, whatever, I'm going to go along with it because secretly I'm plotting my revenge on you. And I'm going to get you when you least expect it, bitch. But here's the thing, you guys. I'm not saying that I don't understand, because my God, like I said, I've shared the story and I won't share it again, but I did have a previous employer who was absolutely horrendous, and this was the type of person that you would want to do something like this to. But here's the deal, you guys. Karma, okay, here are the laws of karma. Ready? First law of karma, like produces like. If you take an action in spite like this, when you know damn well it's not a nice thing to do and you do it anyway, you're going to create more of that later. I don't know when and how, but it's going to come. Number two, karma expands. You do a tiny action or even a big one right now, you're going to get more of it later. You're creating an impression in your mind and through your mind, speech, or action of harm to somebody because you feel righteous because harm was done to you. You are creating more harm. This is about taking the high road, and trust me, I know that sometimes you're just like, absolutely not. Or you feel like you can't get out unless you do something sneaky and shitty. I don't think that's the case here, but like I said, this is not my business. I am just the messenger. I'm just putting it out there. Third law of karma, every result creates a cause. Sorry, every cause creates a result. So if you plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple tree. But if you plant an apple seed, you're not getting a lemon tree. So if you do harm to somebody, you're definitely getting more harm later. Somehow. Okay? And it's going to be way bigger than the little one you're doing now, or even if it feels like a big one. The fourth law of karma is no cause, no result. So if you don't plant harm, if you don't do harm to somebody, you're not going to experience harm later from that. If there's no cause, there won't be a later result. That doesn't mean you haven't accumulated all these karmas and you're not going to experience more pain. It means you're not creating additional later. But you can be guaranteed, even if you feel righteous, if it's harmful to someone, you're creating more harm. And this is a very humbling, very challenging lesson, particularly if this is like people that go through traumatic events, which this might have been or could be a traumatic event. And I'm just going to use this as a very arbitrary example, and I don't have an opinion about this. Well, I do have an opinion, but I won't share it. But it's like if somebody's like goes through like they're, I don't know, like someone they love like is killed, and then like they decide to like forgive the killer. This does happen sometimes. It doesn't happen a lot, but let's just say that it does. That would be an example of like an extreme compassion. Like it would be like bodhisattva behavior. Like that would be like Buddha behavior, because you would have to have the understanding and the belief that there's no way that you experienced that if you didn't have the karma for it. But that is a very radical line of thought. That's not for everybody. So if that triggers you or whatever, just let it go. It's not for you. It's okay. The school of Buddhism I study is the most radical school, which means it's like the most intense forgiveness, the most compassion that you could ever have, the most love you could ever experience, like, and give. But like I said, it's very radical. Like most people could never even fathom doing some of these things. But I'm just saying, like, an extreme, that's like in a very extreme case of like taking the high road and not being like, yeah, not like holding the anger, even though it's devastating, even though it's super traumatic. So this situation does feel like there was pain involved and hurt, and there has been some type of betrayal, but I'm telling you right now, whoever is listening to this who needs to hear this, and I'm sure this is for someone out there, there is always one, even if this is for one person. That's why I make these videos. you're meant to learn the lesson, but you are not meant to create more harm in the situation. And that's going to require, if that's the road that you choose to take, the high road, it's going to require a lot more faith that you're going to get what you need, that you'll be taken care of or provided for, that things will work out for you better. Because you might not be able to see how that's possible right now. You might be between a rock and a hard place, you know? That's why you've got to, if you're listening to this, this is for you. You've got to go within. This is something deeply spiritual that you're experiencing. It's hard, you guys, but I'm telling you, this feels very clear. So let's pull one card on this Queen of Wands, because she's upright. So this feels positive. So what's up with this person? Ooh, 10 of Swords, and then, wow, the 10 of Cups. To me, this feels like another energy, and this feels very positive. Like after the storm is this like beautiful, it's like giving happy ending energy, but like, you know, in a reasonable way, where this person, if this is like, for example, if somebody wants to like leave a very manipulative energy and be with a woman who's like really confident and loving and empowered and doesn't use manipulation to get what they want, like, you know, because they don't have to, then something has to end for that to begin. But look at the contrast. It's like this guy's got 10 swords in his back and he's dead, face flat on the ground. And then it's like, la la la. But it's like one thing, but the 10 of Swords came first. Something's got to end before something new can begin. But there's something really beautiful on the other side of this lesson. But it's getting through this particular lesson and the ego and the insecurity and the anger that's attached to it that is requiring. This is a really big lesson, you guys. And whoever's going through this may or may not learn it. I don't know. But I'm advising that if you're hearing this, even if it's triggering, even if you're like, fuck that, I'm not going to do the right thing, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, I don't really have a good feeling about it, to be honest. So, I don't know. What happens if you do this sneaky, shady thing? Let's just get one card. I mean, I know already, because laws of karma are legit. They've been literally like proven. These Buddhist teachings are thousands of years old, you guys, because the school of Buddhism that I study, for example, that I'm referencing here, is one of the most logical schools, actually. School of like consequence and logic. So it's like one of the more logical ones. So if you're already like an analytical, maybe even skeptical person, this is like an amazing thing to study, because they're literally like, prove it through the book. Like, you have to go test it out, you know? So yeah, you do harm, you're creating more harm, and you're creating a mixed karma. Yeah, you might feel righteous in killing someone, but you still killed someone. It's just like, do you know what I mean? There's always a karma that comes with that, both sides of it. What happens if you do the sneaky thing? Death? Could be literal, metaphor. I'm like literally talking about really heavy things, and then I pull the death card. Let's just get one more on that. It does feel like the end, but it's like a deep transformation, but it feels, yeah, like a profound, if you do the thing, you're going to experience. We're getting that with the King of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, like there will be an ending if you do that. If you do the, whatever someone's scheming and plotting, this vendetta, there will be an ending, and you might feel in some ways like the King of Wands, but then there's this like lack of clarity. And what else? And anxiety, massive anxiety. And disappointment. I don't know. It's a tricky situation. It feels kind of like there's no true full win-win, in the sense that like no matter what you do, it won't be perfect, right? You're not going to get like the optimal perfect result here. What about this Queen of Wands? If you take a little more time to do it correctly with integrity, even if you have a little less money or a little less, you get happiness, the Sun card. Yeah. Do you feel the difference in the cards? Like how much lighter these feel? And they're literally like all yellow. And it's just like him leading to the sun. It's like, what if you just were a little bit more patient and don't rush it? I promise that what's meant for you won't miss you. And if there's somebody that you're trying to get to and you're trying to get out of this situation, trust me, this other person knows it's okay. What if it took a little bit more time, but then you're not going to do this like sketchy, sneaky, shitty thing? the answer would always be take your time and do it with integrity. Whatever that means. This doesn't feel like something dragging on for years. It actually feels very imminent of a change. But I do feel like if you want this happiness, like you're gonna have to walk away with less than you probably wanted. But it is the night, so it's not like with nothing, but it's probably like you won't feel as vindicated, but you're gonna get the happiness you really want. So maybe you don't expose somebody, or you don't get the thing that you want, or you don't get the amount of money you want, or you don't have like that gratifying outcome of like when somebody's like been shitty to you and then you get your revenge and then you feel justified, like, but I'm telling you, I really don't feel like that's what's meant to happen here. Just check the time. So let's keep going. Okay, 15:55 when I looked at the clock. 5:55 for me always, since forever. When I see 5:55, that means big life changes about to happen. That's why I was saying imminent. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull like 2 oracle cards. Let's get like an oracle card on this situation, this, whatever this like home thing is / exit plan, I'm gonna call it. Yeah, we're getting Isis, the goddess of magic, which is like the sexual goddess. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. Let's get one more there. And then, of course, it's the money goddess in the reverse, Lakshmi. Goddess of abundance, I choose to feel abundance. Wealth is an inside job. It's in the reverse. I'm telling you right now, whatever this lesson is, because there is some money attached or some loss, like you are so powerful. You're not giving yourself credit, whoever this is for. Your sexual energy is your creative life force energy. So that's how you're going to create more abundance. It's not through plotting and scheming, and although that might give you more money or more status or some type of, like I said, vindication. You feel like you're a big boss, but you did it creating harm. Therefore, it's not a clean result. So later on, you're going to pay the price for that some other way. It's just how karma works. So Isis is like, to me, that's saying like, and I got this I think in my last reading, where it's like tap into your sexual energy. You might need to look up like tantric meditations, solo cultivation, not that you're doing in relationship, the kind of meditative practices where you use your sexual energy. Just Google Microcosmic Orbit by Mantak Chia. It's a meditation where you envision this particular orbit of energy going all the way and circulating through your body. Or you could literally just do these like deep belly breaths where you take a deep breath in through the nose, you let your belly fill up, but you keep your attention and your focus in your pelvic area the entire time, and you keep bringing your attention and your awareness back to your pelvis, and you keep doing those deep belly breaths, and you're going to build up a lot of energy in your hips and pelvis, your sexual energy, and you can envision then that energy traveling up the spine or up the central channel of your body, or you could literally just sort of activate it, but then you have to be intentional about how you're using it. You can also get the meditations. I would suggest reading the book, but the Magdalene manuscript has 5 tantric meditations that are complimentary, which you can purchase off of Tom Kenyon's website, and they're beautiful because he does them with his own music because he's also a sound healer. But they are very kind of like, not prescriptive, but they're great. I've used them for over 10 years on and off during the years. So, and I give them to a lot of my more advanced clients. So I'm just getting that if you were to tap into your real power, and it is linked in with your sexual energy, but again, being intentional with it, like you create the abundance. But right now you're in scarcity, so whoever this is trying to plot their revenge, but it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. I know it can feel right in the moment that you're doing it, but you've got a lesson to learn around this. Okay, and then what about this Queen of Wands? We're getting Fatima, the mother of Imams. It says, love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. And it's in the reverse. Maybe this is what you've been resisting. Gratitude is my religion, love is my lineage. Let's see. Then we're getting Inanna, which is the queen of heaven and earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. Upright with this Queen of Wands situation over here. I think part of your lesson, whoever this is over here with the vendetta, is to is an experience of gratitude and abundance that comes from within, that is an incredibly hard lesson when you've grown up with nothing, or you experienced poverty, or you've had a lot of financial struggles and you've always been in scarcity, and then maybe for a while you weren't, and it was like, okay, well, that was nice to have financial stability or to have that security, but it wasn't done in a clear and clean and clear way. And so a lot of karma was accumulated, whomever this is. And now it's all sort of, cycle is culminating, but of course when we do something with a mixed intention, we get a mixed result. If we offer help to somebody, but deep down we have a secret hidden agenda that isn't pure, like, we'll probably get the result, but it'll be like a shitty result, or we won't get the thing we actually wanted, or whatever. So you just have to really consider these things. If you're on a spiritual path, like, this is inevitable, you guys. We have to learn some of these lessons. So I feel like maybe there's another situation that wasn't as materially appealing, but there was so much richness here that goes beyond wealth, and emotional richness, true happiness, true love, but maybe it was overlooked, you know? And it's like, now it's looking a lot more appealing, but to receive it, you have to also, like, be grateful for what you've got. And if you walk away from a situation, for example, with less than you wanted, or you don't get the vindication that you're wanting, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? But you have to get to the place where you're like, you can actually let go. And that is not easy. Like I said, I can't do that for somebody. I've been in situations where people stab me in the back, and to take the high road felt incredibly challenging at the time. But I don't have any regrets, because I look back and I'm like, I didn't repeat that harm. I had to suck it up, swallow it, and learn deeper lessons. But guess what? My life just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. I'm not lying. I'm not just saying that. It's not perfect. But so many of the things that were in the past, I didn't do everything perfectly. I had missteps of my own. I misspoke. I did not do this perfectly. But what I'm saying is, there were moments where I could have done things that were really, I felt righteous about, but it would have been harmful, and I didn't do them. And I'm so grateful that I didn't, because I didn't create more of that same shitty karma. So therefore, I'm not experiencing those things anymore. Really, I'm not. Like, my life is pretty much drama-free. I feel incredibly supported. I feel blessed. I feel incredibly loved. It's not perfect, but it's not the way it used to be. So I just think that's tremendous progress. But again, I'm conscientious of the things I'm doing, and although by no means have I got it all down perfect, I'm much more aware, you know, and I'm pretty good at pivoting before I do something I'm going to regret. So it's not perfect, but you can definitely do this work. And that's the shadow work, and that's the Inanna. Again, she sees and accepts all that she is because she had to travel to hell and back again, literally. And in the mythology, she has to go down 7 gates into the underworld, into Hades. She's going to find her twin sister. She's basically doing the shadow integration, where each gate, she has to take off a layer of clothing, so she reaches hell, or Hades, the underworld, and she's totally naked. But at this point, she's totally accepting of herself. She's like, I'm naked, I'm exposed, but I love myself the way I am. I feel whole and complete. She gets her twin sister down there, and then they come back above earth, or whatever, heaven and earth, between heaven and earth. She comes back onto earth, and she's like, I'm whole and complete because I've integrated my shadow and my light. So you feel more complete. So there's just like, maybe there wasn't gratitude in the past, or it felt like I need more money, more. Again, that's like a mindset where and I've been there, where you feel like you have to constantly be accumulating things, money, achievements, whatever it is. You're constantly chasing because maybe you're grateful-ish, like, for what you've got, but you really believe that your happiness is in the next goal, in the next accumulation, in the next accolade, in the next thing, blah, blah, blah. And it's an endless cycle. It never ends. It's a bottomless pit. Whereas what if you could just be happy with a little bit, what looks like less, but it's like the true joy. The Sun card is the most positive, happy card in the entire tarot deck. With the 10 of Cups, it's like, are you kidding? Nothing is perfect. Every situation has its flaws and its challenges, but I'm just saying, this is like what was overlooked in the past because there were other lessons that needed to be learned about what abundance really means. And that includes love and support. And also about doing the, let's say, thing that's in integrity, instead of taking the easy route, a shortcut, putting a Band-Aid on something. Like I said, when your ego's involved and you feel like you've been done wrong and you have that edge to you, which I also have. Scorpio moon. I'm a double fire sign with a Scorpio moon. I can be vicious, but I'm not anymore because I know better. Because I'm just like, what? That's not going to solve this. It's going to create more shitty karma for me. So before I end this, I'm going to get one of these cards. Let's pull one of these from this Goddess Within Oracle. What do we need to know? Like, what is sort of, this feels really clear and specific, so I'm sure whoever this is for, or apply it. Like, if it isn't for like a home situation, it's some other situation that you've been holding on to and you have harsh feelings about, and you're holding resentments and holding a grudge, and it's just like, that is not serving you anymore. Okay, we're getting Artemis. Love that. I don't know what it says in the deck though, so we'll look. Ooh, Hecate is under here, and she's the witch, you guys. She's the fucking witch. So, okay. And then we'll get one of the masculine cards. I'm going to look at both. What's this one? Ooh, look, it's like a bear growling, but are any of these reversed? No. Okay, so it's this bear card. It says Torn Garsuk. Don't know where that's from, but it's this big bear, and he's like, so let's see. And underneath is Hermes, which is the messenger, the messenger who also travels between the realms, between like the underworld and the where we are here. So messages, yeah, I do feel like there's some type of, you're going to get some clarity about this. Whoever needs clarity, like you're going to receive some soon. Like I said, half the story's already out. The rest hasn't happened yet. Maybe this is a preventative measure so that whatever thing you're about to do, maybe you rethink it a little bit. Or maybe not. Maybe you do it and then you're just like, whatever, I'll deal with the consequences. But I don't know. I feel like if you're hearing this, you're hearing it for a reason. So let's just take a quick peek at the two little messages for this. So Artemis is saying, embrace the energy of new beginnings, passion, and action by honoring your inner maiden. And it says the maiden is the one who stands at the beginning of the yellow brick road, ready to journey forward, seeking wisdom of the wizard, not yet knowing the journey will teach her to access the seed of knowledge ready to hatch within. And basically it says she's got to muster her courage as she ventures forth through the woods, learning whom to trust, how to read people, and how to discern truth from lies, love from lust, and wise choices from poor choices. And then it says, each mistake the maiden makes, each shocking betrayal, bestowed upon her, takes her on a more profound journey within her soul. But as she stumbles, she stands back up with insurmountable energy and a passion bursting forth as she springs back into action. Activate the maiden that lives within you as you venture forth on your path of seeking and learning. And then it says, yeah, that's it. Do you see what it said there about betrayal? Like, I'm genuinely feeling like this was meant to happen. I mean, obviously you created the karma for this. We don't experience betrayal if we haven't betrayed ourselves, other people. It was it's a coming around, right? And whatever the situation was, it's been very challenging. And you have definitely been stabbed in the back somehow. Like I said, someone is actively, currently being emotionally manipulative. It could be using property, family, or both, or money, or all of the above, as the puppet master holding all the strings, playing this little game, and you feel like you're literally being played in front of your face, which you are. However, be the bigger person, like see beyond just the immediate circumstance. There's such a blessing waiting for this person, whoever you are. There's a huge blessing waiting for you. But look, like I said, Queen of Wands, the Sun, the Ten of Cups. But you have to deal with this situation correctly. You may still get the result, even if you do the really shitty thing here, but I'm just feeling like it won't work out the way that you're hoping, even if you do it. So it's kind of like a cautionary tale. Like, I wouldn't recommend it, but I don't know. I'm not God either. So let's see. What is Hecate? She's a badass. Decide to move forwards. Remaining indecisive keeps you between two timelines. Known as Queen of the Witches, Greek goddess Hecate is the patron of darkness, magic, sorcery, spells, and the night. Yeah, she is a baddie. Look at her. It's big Scorpio energy. So it says she's the guardian of the crossroads and is said to be found where roads meet, accompanied by howling dogs. She can see in several directions simultaneously, the past, present, and future. A triple goddess, Hecate is known to usher those going, through menopause into the next phase of life. One of her mythologies tells the tale of her assisting Demeter in her search for her daughter Persephone, guiding her through the pitch black night with her illuminating torch. So basically it says, in every moment you're gifted with the ability to alter the entire course of your life through the act of decision making. Do you guys see what I'm saying? There is a decision that you need to make over here. But I'm telling you right now, if you're hearing this, this is not by accident. You're hearing this message right now because you are meant to reconsider a bit of your whatever's going on over here. And it's coming in divine timing on purpose, right? So it's saying many possible timelines have the potential to be played out depending on what choice you make. Old ones will collapse when they no longer make sense, opening to fresh ones in a new direction. It's easy to underestimate the power of what seems like a small decision. One seemingly small choice aligned, even 1 degree toward the life you wish to create, opens the opportunity for other little decisions to be made. You can continue forward passively on the default timeline ahead of you, going where life takes you, or you can make a decision and create what you want instead. Making a decision can feel extremely difficult because you're uncertain of the outcome. However, the risk of stepping onto an uncharted path is not as great as the risk of doing nothing. When you find yourself watching and waiting, when you find yourself at a crossroads, you must choose. Not making a choice is a form of decision, leaving you stagnant between these two options, floating in and out of these muddled energies. Indecision impedes the universe from bringing opportunities on a clearly defined path, keeping you in limbo. Contemplate the decisions that need to be made in your life. Spend some time considering the choices available to you, and then take any action step necessary to put you on a clear path forward. Before I go back to that quickly, let me just look up this masculine card, this bear. I think it's about rest and rejuvenation, but let me check. I got a really clear message about that last one, so hold on a second. This card saying, this bear card, Torn Garsuk. Okay, it says, it's about burnout. And it says, prioritize sleep hygiene and rest to generate energy, stores emotional peace, and a focused mind. Respite will lead to the answers you seek. And it's saying, the world appears bleak and problems are too much to bear when dealing with burnout, extreme tiredness, and sensory overload. Action and goal setting are integral elements of a well-rounded life. They help to avoid atrophy and stagnation. Conversely, relaxation and enjoying life are of equal importance. A hustle mentality has led to tiredness becoming a bragging right. That's true, culturally. It's time to release thought patterns that hinder your happiness and well-being and strive for balance. Resting doesn't make you lazy. You don't have to do anything to be worthy of relaxation. Sleep rejuvenates you mentally, spiritually, energetically, physically, and emotionally. You heal in many ways. Construct a sleep sanctuary. Yeah, it's saying rest can come passively through sleep and actively through restorative practices like meditation, stretching, connecting with nature, and massage. You need to calm your nervous system, basically, and ease your mind. And this is why you're having trouble making decisions that are clear, because you're fucking burned out. You're like on your last hair of energy. So this is a kind of intense message. I mean, it is pretty intense, but I wouldn't expect anything less from my cards. Let me just see if Hermes has any specific message before I put the cards away, since it's kind of staring at me. Let's see. She's blind. Hermes. Yeah, it feels like you're really meant to reconsider this before you take a leap. Also, to not remain stuck because you're trying so hard to get your revenge, waiting, that you're stalling out in this old timeline when you have this other timeline available of a new experience. But you can't get to this unless you end something and you make a decision. But I feel like this Queen of Wands is over here in another timeline. This is possible, but you have to end this to come to this. So Hermes says, have that difficult conversation. Oh, that's why it told me to read this. Have the difficult conversation. Rather than avoiding conflict, face it head on with open and transparent deliberation for richer connections. Open and transparent. This is, whatever's going on over here is sneaky. It's not open. It's not transparent. It's not nice. But it's like, I know that whoever this is feels righteous in it. But I'm telling you right now, again, be mindful. It says, avoiding the temporary discomfort of a difficult conversation worth giving up the opportunity to speak your mind? Consider the nights that you've spent going over and over the points related to this issue because they were never released. It's time to get this weight off your chest. Conflict is a component of healthy relationships. Instead of letting unresolved issues fester and manifest toxicity later, communicate openly and appropriately now. The longer these annoyances, grievances, and ill feelings are kept muffled, the more likely they'll break down your relationships, which you probably want in this case. However, it says looming in the background, replaying in your mind and becoming expressed through passive-aggressive behavior will eventually wear down even the strongest bond. Confront things head on in a calm yet clear manner. Lessons in detachment, letting go, boundaries, and prioritizing peace are prevalent on a spiritual path. Learning how to healthily resolve conflict and make amends is also imperative. Instead of cutting people out at the first sign of opposition, a difficult conversation can do wonders for the long term. When someone you love is willing to put themselves in an uncomfortable position to bring up an issue to resolve, consider that they want a clear, open relationship with you that prospers moving forward. Airing everything out gives a chance to release anything that could cause hostility. Acquire conflict resolution skills to employ in your personal and professional relationships. Implement communication skills like using I feel rather than you did this, you did that. That's so true. Opt for in-person communication to avoid losing subtext conveyed through tone, eye contact, and body language. Basically, focus on, it says, conscious communication, you'll find clarity. That it strengthens your bonds and it gives you peace of mind. The quality of your communication will influence the quality of how you relate with another person. Yeah, so what I'm hearing and feeling here is that there's two different situations, and I feel like one of them is probably much more healthy and you are able to do this communication in a conscious way. But it's like you need to deal with the other conflict that's currently here with a person who is extremely challenging to deal with. And like I said, probably very passive aggressive, emotionally manipulative, probably Queen of Cups in the reverse, plays the victim, loves to be the victim, doesn't want to take responsibility for herself, loves to be the one that goes on the defense when you start to hold them accountable and be like, what about you? And then they're like, well, this is all your fault. Well, you're the reason that I have to do this and blah, blah, blah. So it's always finger pointing and blaming, and they're never like taking risk. That's why they're so manipulative. But if they're manipulative because they're insecure, and because that's the only way they ever like learned how to get their needs met was by being controlling and manipulative, unfortunately, you have to rise above it. And communicating with a person like this when they are this gaslighty and like make you feel insane, it may not be easy, and so it may not be as long and lengthy a conversation as they want, or there may be no easy solution here, but being open and transparent is going to get you a much better result than being sneaky and backhanded, even if that's what was done to you. And also, if you're avoiding a conversation with another person, like if it's this Queen of Wands and you're not speaking to this person openly, then it's really in your best interest to do that, because that person is totally going to be they're going to be able to have a hard conversation with you. Don't worry about it. They've probably already shown you that. And that's why it's like the Sun and the Ten of Cups. But communication is a major issue here, and it's a major lesson, and also discernment in like how you handle conflict. Because you can handle it in a really backhanded, like low vibrational way, or you can take the high road, which is harder, and you may, like I said, your ego might take a hit, but you're creating better karma, which means in the long term, you're getting a better result. So that's it, you guys. I'll leave you with that. This was kind of a long one. If you want personal guidance, like if this resonated and you're like, ooh, that hits, I do personal sessions, clarity sessions, 60 minutes, one-to-one, where we can do a reading for you. And everything else that I've got going on is in the description below, but really these readings are to like guide you if you guys want one-to-one readings. So other than that, I will see you guys soon in the next one. Take care.